The parcel of land in South C, Ward Langata constituency registered as LR number 209/10210 and on which the College of Insurance stands was encroached upon by a private developer who has already excavated and constructed a perimeter fence around that portion of land. B, what steps has the ministry taken to address the situation and to safeguard the rights of the Insurance, Training and Education Trust, who are the legitimate owners of the parcel of land? C, could the Cabinet Secretary explain how the ministry intends to generally address the growing menace of fraudulent acquisition and encroachment of public land by private individuals and developers, especially in the city county of Nairobi? I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Cabinet Secretary.
The question on insurance College of Insurance, asked by Honorable Senator for Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, this is grant number LR 209/10210 or IR number 66157, which contained an acreage of 2 hectares, more particularly delineated in survey plan number 193902. The grant comprised a leasehold term of 99 years, commencing 1st of March 1982, with an annual rent of 138,000. The grant was first registered on 20th of June 1995 in the name of Insurance, Training and Education Trust. The same parcel was also allocated to one Rajab Ahmed Karume. The grant indicates that the parcel contains an acreage of 2 hectares in the name of Rajab Karume as well, and more particularly delineated on survey plan number 278905. The grant comprised a leasehold term of 99 years from 1st of October 1998, with an annual rent of 80,000. As revised, the grant was registered on 6th of July 2011. The ownership of this parcel has been a subject matter of court proceedings and Environment and Land Court, ELC Court, at Milimani, case number 816/2012, declared Rajab Ahmed Karume as the sole and lawful registered proprietor of the parcel. The ELC ordered for cancellation of the initial grant registered in the name of Insurance, Training and Education Trust. The Court of Appeal in Civil Appeal number E505, consolidated with case number E519 of 2020, upheld the position taken by ELC in the High Court, and we put an annexure and a bundle of documents, including the decree and an order of the Court of Appeal. And those are the annexures there, 1 to 4, that is the judgment for 14th of June 2024 in the Court of Appeal, decree dated 22nd August 2024. In other words, then, therefore, the correspondence file for Rajab Ahmed Karume is in our custody, and we are yet to trace the correspondence file for Insurance, Training and Education Trust. That, of course, speaks to something, but that file, I've tried to look for it, it's not there. Honorable Speaker, in response to part B of the question, the courts and the Court of Appeal have pronounced themselves on this matter and declared ownership of this land in favor of Rajab. The ministry is therefore unable to take further action on the matter. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, my officers have been continuously under threat of being committed to civil jail for sometimes taking time to interrogate some of these records, and especially where a court ruling and judgment has been given. So to that extent, then we are following the court order, and unless advised otherwise. In response to Part C of the question, the ministry is undertaking digitization of land records to make them less susceptible or vulnerable to manipulation, thereby guaranteeing their integrity. Once we finish that process of automation, we will be in a better place to deal with questions of integrity and security of documents. We have also fast-tracked titling of institutional titles or public spaces, institutions, and also private institutions. We have continuously cooperated with investigative agencies, EACC, the DCI, and sometimes even NIS, when issues of public property arise and the request for documentation is normally given with easy access. To this end, we have officers from the DCI domiciled in the ministry headquarters, and that has also assisted in terms of making the place a free corruption zone. However, I, as the minister in charge, I would still want to say it is work in progress. So far, Cabinet has approved about close to 35 billion for a first phase of additional funding to do automation, and that has been approved as a process of funding with World Bank support. And I believe we should be possibly managing to go throughout. Of course, the work of automation is not a one-day exercise. It is a program that is running throughout the country, and so far I believe we have done well. Nairobi is at maybe 98%. We've moved to other counties, and with this new funding we should be able to make better progress. I don't know whether I have lost course. I think I have exhausted Honorable Sifuna's question, but he needs also to still assist me with the Tom Mboya, because there is a court case coming up, and I believe the response by my ministry in response and defense of our position, which has been challenged since my appearance to the Senate, has been well spelled out and written by way of defense and reply in the court. And I believe the case is being handled properly by the Attorney General. But the people of that area should know that that remains public property.
Senator Sifuna, your supplementary question?
Yes, Madam CS, I want to assure you that you have the full support of the people of Nairobi as you fight to recover all these properties that belong to the public that have been illegally acquired. Speaker, my question was going to be to the CS what sort of defense they put up in this particular matter. Because if I remember my land law at the University of Nairobi, the first allocation that is given has some level of superiority over subsequent allocations. So I'm wondering if you have clearly delineated here that this particular parcel, the grant was first registered on 20th June 1995 in the name of the Insurance Training and Education Trust. Then you come here and we see a registration in favor of this private individual in July of 2011. This has appended my entire understanding of land law. I thought a first registration is superior. So I wanted to understand, the Honorable CS, what sort of defense do you actually put up in courts in support of your own records? And how can something like this happen? Because I thought that the courts, once they get from you that the first initial registration, unless they say the first registration is regular, Honorable Speaker, how can it be trumped by a registration that comes over 20 years later? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Sifuna, your question is very wide. You're asking the CS what sort of defense they put up in this case on a matter which has already been pronounced by the courts.
Honorable Speaker, you heard her saying that even in the case involving Tomboya, the ministry is putting up strong defense because their records are what the courts rely on. So my only concern is how was it possible? How was it possible? So she can just give us a brief on the sort of defense they put up, unless, Honorable Speaker, you think that it's not an important question.
No, it's an important question, but I don't know if the CS will be in a capacity to know the defense that was put in place. CS.
Yes, sorry. I am following, Honorable Speaker, the concerns of the Honorable Senator for Nairobi. And I would want to invite the Honorable Senator to read the judgments from the High Court and also the Court of Appeal. Indeed, we put quite, I believe, the Office of the Attorney General, because definitely the defense and our lawyer is the Attorney General. And looking at what we did, the Commissioner of Land's evidence was actually disregarded and dismissed by the court. And therefore, maybe you could read the judgment. If you think there is anything else we can do, we can engage. But there is now a judgment of the Court of Appeal, and it is not possible for me to move further. It is true that the first registration, I won't call it first registration as such, but there was an initial grant, the first grant by order of dates, and then this other grant. I am yet to understand the reasoning fully, but the position is the court has pronounced itself, and you don't want the minister to be committed to contempt.
Could the Cabinet Secretary provide details on the circumstances under which the parcel of land in South Sea, Ward, Langata constituency registered as LR number 209/10-210